It's our first time visit to the West Virginia Botanic Garden in Morgantown, West Virginia.
This is inside the visitor center. We have merchandise. It's outside. There's tables. Flowers out front. And this is Cafe Rose at the garden. Counter service on the patio. Now we're where? Visitor center right here. Do you see the fairy garden? You see the wetland boardwalk, the bridge, there's the fairy garden. This is the Garden Gate Trail. And here's the Cafe Rose Garden in the back. Looks beautiful. These are little trees that they're starting. There's a hillside trail to the left and the terrace gardens below. This is the hillside trail we're going on. Big rocks. You can hear the birds. We have a white tag on the tree. White tag. Still on the trail. It's a little tree root with a hole under it. Pretty green moss. Down below us is a parking lot. Found a mushroom. Pausing while he ties his shoe. Fallen tree, but there's a path. You just step into it. Another mushroom. There's a lot of rocks and not a lot of growth. I'm assuming that the tree cover is keeping the growth. It's got a lot of fallen leaves on the ground, fall leaves. And this path is coming to the road. Wonder if it's the end of this path. You've got hillside trail, goes down and up, upper parking, and the terrace. There's a big building down below. I'm not sure what it is yet. We're going this way to hope to get to see the garden trails. They have plaques that describe the plants or trees. This is number 4, the shade garden. It says this was dedicated in 2017 in appreciation of the founder of the West Virginia Botanic Garden, whose vision and dedication made the community treasure become a reality. And there it is. And just below that we have a parking lot. Looks to be a garage on this end. Maintenance of sort, authorized personnel only. Passing through the middle section, we see a larger trail. This banner says this garden features rhododendrons, azaleas, and other acid-loving soil plants. Several of the trees along here have pictures of the history. This is from 2008. It's one of the other pictures from 2007. Pretty bark on the tree. And loving memory benches. 2009. The garden's first employee is hired. 2010. 2011, the first nature camp for children is offered. It's a busy day today. Several cars in the parking lot too. Reservoir Loop Trail, wetland boardwalk to the right, woodland trails. Clean water comes to Morgantown. The pictures withstand weather. They're like on a material. I hear frogs in the water. In 2014, there was an eco sculpture of a red-tailed hawk named Sylvia, installed by the artist Ben Ghazi, if I'm saying that right. On this tree they have a counter and more signs. Signs are pretty neat. At the first season of Good Taste dinner series began. The garden is created. The Vegel Garden is created. Seems like our timeline is going up. This is 2018. The event lawns developed adjacent to the Education Center. 2019. The Great Egg Hunt event. A little hard to see, but in 2020 the pandemic affects programming. The state-of-the-art irrigation is installed. Event lawn pavilion completed. New lawn service building completed to house the equipment and the new tractor. In 2022, the terrace of Tibbs Run Event Center is completed. The Children's Adventure Garden is created. Sculpture of bird blinded by artist Dylan, and renovations began on the Tyrone Roadhouse. In 2023, the stone moon gates completed in the secret garden by the stonemason Wes Bodie. New sculptures are installed by artists Michael Loop and Allison Helm. New trail signs are created throughout the entire property, and the first horticulturist is hired. In 2024, the Visitor Center opens to the public, featuring a gift shop, rain garden, and a place for interaction. New sculptural entry to the fairy garden is created. The garden gateway trails develop between the Visitor Center and the lower parking areas. So if you bring your animals, here's where you clean up at. Signage to tell us where we're going. And we're going to the fairy garden right now. Here's the bridge to the fairy garden. There's the bridge to the fairy garden. Here's the sculpture archway made out of wood, stacked. Welcome to the fairy garden. Ogres from the wetlands will remove all fairies' houses that are taller than 3 feet, so keep them small. See the wood stacked and secured. This part's roped off, and it looks like they have activities or learning lessons inside there. We're going to follow the star for the fairy garden. 2 pretty leaves together. Growths on a tree. Moss on the log. Not sure what the red stuff is. More red things growing on a tree stump. We're still looking for the fairy houses. There's a shooting range close by. We keep hearing gunshots. Cute little mushroom in the middle of the trail. Hope it survives. We're still looking for the fairy garden. Pretty rhododendron along the way. This sign, if you go up this way, says you're leaving the property. Turn around and stay on the trail. Still on the circle star loop. Paul seems to think back where the wood is where the fairy houses, but we'll loop right back to that. But that's what I'm most anxious to see on our little walk. Paul says this is Lower Cliff Overlook where we're standing now. Not rose petals, but we have rhododendron flower petals. These petals. This tree is still struggling, but it's still doing well. So when we crossed the bridge, and it said fairy garden. So right across the bridge was a fairy garden. We'll go back. Found another mushroom. There's some little boardwalks across the little stream. A bigger boardwalk. Wet down there. A rock path. A bridge thing with water. Lots of moss-covered logs. Fallen trees. More mushrooms. There are ferns. We circled the whole loop around, and Paul finally came up with the idea. We go through this entrance right there, and that's where the fairy gardens are. Let's read the sign here first. A place where the forest whispers and tiny creatures dwell. Here the fairies build their homes from twigs, acorns, and stones. Tucked away in secret nooks, you are invited to join them. Create a cozy home of your own for our forest friends. Remember, the magic grows when we care for each other's creations. So tread softly and let the enchantment unfold. Hey, we finally made it. We've arrived. The rules of the fairy garden. Don't frighten the fairies with loud voices. Only build in the roped areas. The rest of the forest must remain undisturbed. Only use fallen natural materials or our fairies turn up their noses at things brought from home. Don't take building supplies from existing houses. Don't peel bark off living trees, moss off rocks, or cut any living plants that makes the fairy very sad. Our time fairy bonuses naturally return to the forest floor and are rebuilt by other children. You can look around and find the little homes that everybody have built. Like those. And those. Some are small fairy houses, and others are large, but not over 3 feet tall. That completes the fairy garden. We made it, we found it, and we saw it. Out we go, crossing the bridge. There were several other trails back through there. There's a lot of things you can walk and places to see and go. It's endless here. We're going to continue on the trail this way. A billboard of sorts. It says Prehistoric Garden, the underground forest of West Virginia. In each little cubicle, they have rock. Whoop, and they have me. There's rock in each little hole. And descriptions to describe. Signs along the way help describe what's around. That's interesting on the end of the fallen tree. Sign says small dam, big bowl. No entry, habitat restoration in progress. There's the sign for it. Here is another trail you could take, Pixie Cup Trail. It says sensitive habitat. If you can find it, right in there is a deer. It's staring at us. It's probably used to people. See it? It's eating and it doesn't care that we're here. Sign says strong men and horses built the basin. It had to clear overgrowth from 28 acres for a reservoir. It was a major undertaking in 1911. And this is the Pixie Loop Trail that made like a half a loop. We hear water. Lots of water. Places to sit if you want. Water. A wall above the water. Exposed trees, roots. Big stream. Feels good. A cool breeze on this hot day. It's 81 degrees right now. Coming up a little hill. More benches and a sculpture. Over there you can see the building. I'm not sure which building. Down on the bottom there's a sculpture, which we didn't go on the Pixie Trail. There's another sculpture. Someone's mowing their lawn too. Somewhere. Birdhouse high on the tree. It's Allison Helm. Interlocking Agreements 2023. Stainless steel. It's a long way down there. Another birdhouse. It's called the Long Walk. Formal American boxwood and a note of contrast to the natural setting and the native plants. Many shrubs, perennials, and grasses supplement the native growth, adding contrast, texture, and color. This is the Long Walk. Isn't it pretty? That's a big container. It's dedicated. Dr. and Mrs. Carl Cather. Benches along the way in memory of. Down below you can see reflection. There's water down there. This is the remnants of the past. The dam and outer tower. The outlet tower lets water in. The main dam keeps water in. Paul read that this is 21 feet tall. This is what it looks like when it was underwater at one time. We're going down the Pondview Trail to see what we can see. And this brings us to the Pondview. Bullfrogs. Maybe there's that tower that we just saw. Above in the sky, I heard a drone. Now I see a drone. The sign says in 1950 the city of Morgantown acquired the property associated with the existing waterworks, including the Tibbs Run Reservoir. Then in 1960, the Tibbs Run Reservoir supplied water primarily to Saberton, Rock Forge, Marilla Park, and Jerome Park and areas. Coben Creek Reservoir, built in 1957, and the Monongalia River supplied water to the rest of the expanding town. As continual improvements to the overall system brought the need for clean mountain water to a close, the city of Morgantown stopped using Tibbs Run Reservoir in 1969. After the reservoir closed, the area became an informal recreation site. Locals came here to fish largemouth bass, bluegills, and catfish. Others swam or picnicked. This activity ceased after the reservoir was drained in 1980. Today, people come here to walk the trails, enjoy the natural setting, view gardens, and participate in activities and events. So it says, please remain quiet, ceremonies in progress. Up above. On our way out, looking for a path. This looks like a pretty path. A little garden. This is the big round circle that a lot of people get photographs with for prom pictures and events. Pretty cool. We found it. Almost didn't. A big round circle of stone. Benches on each side. Here's what the back side of the round circle, the stone circle, looks like. Two sides you could do. A little heart made out of the stone. A little circle. This is called the Secret Garden. Shade-loving shrubs and perennials. Archway. Here's a bee. We're thinking maybe a butterfly. Purple flowers. Yellow flowers. Yago Garden. It's an example of contemporary mixed perennials. Those are cool chairs. It says classrooms downstairs, public restrooms downstairs. Where we just came from was the education center and additional parking. Wasn't open. We're making our way back up to the top where we probably should have drove down, but we walked the side trail, the hillside trail. Now we're heading back. This is the Terrace Event Center. It's closed for private event. You can hear orchestra. Lots of people dressed really nice. Dressed up. A lot of people coming and going in this parking lot. Going in the trail that's gravel that runs beside the road. But it's all uphill. Yay! This building says the terrace. Gravel path upward. And we made it back to the beginning. I'm surprised.
You've just watched a Jill Garbart Studio video. Subscribe, hit that bell, and get notified when new videos come out. Thanks for stopping by.